Hello and welcome to this walkthrough video on how to use the CompletePBX 5 APIs. By the end of this video, you'll know how to register an external application, authenticate it, and, as an example of the API usage, pull CDR data, including call recordings, using simple API calls. The APIs allow external applications like a CRM or a custom web portal to securely connect to your PBX and retrieve data. To do this, every application needs to register an application key with the PBX and then authenticate with user credentials to get a temporary security token. That token is then used for all subsequent API calls. Let's start with the one-time setup. This is done directly on the PBX via SSH, so go ahead and connect to your PBX. First, we need to get the maintenance key, which is a built-in key that allows us to perform administrative API operations on localhost. Now we use that key to authenticate and get a temporary admin token with the command shown here. You'll get back a JSON response with a token. Copy that token. We'll use it in the next step. Now we register our application. In this example, we're using key 123456 and naming the application HR Management. In a real deployment, use a long random key for security. A success response confirms the application is now registered. Now switch over to the CPBX web interface. We need to do three things here. First, go to Admin, User Profiles, and create a profile with CDR-only privileges. This limits what the API user can access. Click the Save button. Next, go to Admin, Users, and create a user. In this example, we call it CDR user. Define a password for the account and assign it the CDR profile we just created. Don't forget to save the changes and click the Apply All Changes button. Finally, go to Admin, Application Access. Select your application, in this case HR Management, from the right side menu and add CDR user as an allowed user. One important step is to go to the whitelist section and add the IP address of the machine that will be making API calls. By default, only localhost is allowed, so any external application will be blocked until you add its IP here. Now we're ready to authenticate from the external application. This is what your CRM or script will do at the start of each session. Set your application key and the CDR user password. In this example, we are using the password shown here for the CDR user account. Then call the authenticate endpoint. You'll get back a token. This token is temporary and must be used for all API calls in this session. Store it in a variable. Now, as an example of the API in action, let's pull some call records. Here, we'll fetch all calls within a date range. The response is a JSON array of call records. Each record contains details like the caller, destination, duration, disposition, and, importantly, the path to the recording file if one exists. Once you have a CDR ID from the call records, you can download and play the recording directly from your application. Here you can see a simple example of what that might look like on the client side. The application asks for the PBX address, the application key, the CDR user credentials, and the CDR ID of the call you want to listen to. Once you click Fetch and Play, the application authenticates with the PBX in the background, retrieves the recording, and loads it directly into the audio player ready to play with no manual file download needed. This is just a minimal example to demonstrate the concept. In a real CRM or web portal, this player would be embedded in the call log, so agents can click play directly next to any call record. If you later need to remove the recording from the system, you can use the Destroy Call Recording endpoint. After the request completes, we can list the contents of the recordings directory to confirm that the audio file has been removed from the system. To download a recording, call the download endpoint with the CDR ID. The PBX streams the WAV file back to you. You can save it to disk or, in a web application, stream it directly into an audio player instead of manually downloading the file. And that's it. You now have everything you need to integrate CompletePBX 5 into your external application, from registering the app key, setting up the user and whitelist, authenticating, and making API calls. CDR and call recordings are just one example of what the API can do, so make sure to check the full documentation for the complete list of available commands. Thanks for watching.